physical server installed with initially just a minute. Sorry for that. So we know that there is a physical server and installed with ESX operating system, and we can create virtual machines on top of it. And customers will use these virtual machines to run their business applications. On top of these virtual machines, there will be Windows or Linux operating system. And organizations, business applications will be running here. So we are the administrator who is helping that infrastructure to maintain, okay, to manage the operations and to maintain the healthy infrastructure. We are the administrator from here. From here, if you want to manage this ESX machine and virtual machine, let's say if you want to build one more virtual machine on this ESXi server, okay, from our browser itself, using your web browser from your laptop or desktop, directly connect to this machine and manage. So we'll see like this will have a network address that we will discuss later, how it comes, where it will, we will configure it, and it will have a network address to communicate with this machine. So here also we are the administrator who will be installing this ESX operating system and also assigning this network address and building this virtual machine. That we will see during the lab session. Okay, how to install OS and how to configure this network address and all. So once you assign, then we can access from our laptop itself. So open a web browser, enter this network address, directly connect to it, and you can manage the virtual machines. If you want to power on, power off, add more RAM, CPU, create new virtual machines. So a lot of tasks will be there. Okay. So that we can manage from our web browser itself. So open a new web browser here, enter the network address of the machine. Proceed. Here it will ask for username and password. So there is a physical server in our lab installed with ESXi and assigned with this network address. That's how I'm accessing this server directly. Okay. So here username will be root, that is by default, and password is the one we have set during the OS installation. I'll share that password later with you. You directly connected to the ESXi machine using a web browser. Here itself we can see some virtual machines are running. Okay. Some 8 virtual machines are running on one physical server itself. Right now it is like this. So with our laptop we directly connected to this ESX machine and managing virtual machines. But what if you have one more ESXi? You have one more physical server. So it is assigned with some different address. Something like one more address, physical server. Okay, install with ESX operating system, and we can create again virtual machines on top of it. Now, let's say your customer is coming and asking, can you power on my VM 45? You need to log into the from laptop, you log into one ESX machine and verify whether that VM is here or not. That is not found here. Then log into this ESX machine again. Open one more web browser. Okay, log into the second one and see. So what if there are 100 ESX machines like that? Okay. To identify where is this machine is running itself will take 2 to 3 hours for you. To identify where it is running and then fix the problem, it will take extra time. Fine. So it will be very headache for this administrator to identify where is that machine is running itself. Then you try to fix that problem, that will take extra time. Okay, unnecessarily we'll be wasting time to find the machine itself. To avoid that, VMware has developed an application this time. We'll see how it works. But before that, to install this application, what we need? Any application where we install application will be installed on what? Anyone? We will install any application. Let's say VLC player itself, where we install. Before that, it comes operating system. Any application will be installed on top of an operating system. So we need either Windows or Linux. Here we need Windows or Linux operating system. And that application can be installed on top of that. Okay. Operating system on top of that application. So now, operating system where we can install. What are the options available now for us to install any operating system, Windows, Linux, anything? Operating system, where do we install? CPU means physical computer. Or we have one more option now. Yeah, that's what, like physical server or physical computer, both are same, physical machine. Physical machine or
virtual machine.
virtual machine. That's what our aim. Like we like to use virtual machines for all our application needs instead of physical machines. Okay. So here we need to have either physical machine or virtual machine. As an VMware administrator, which one will you prefer, physical machine or virtual machine? So we target whatever it is, we prefer to install on virtual machines. So create a virtual machine, install Windows or Linux, then install this application, newly developed application from the VMware company. Okay, they have developed this application. Now, let's say we have to assign one network address also. 192.168.1.200 we have assigned. Now, what is the advantage of this application? This application will help us to manage ESX machines together on one interface. You registered these ESX machines on this application interface. Log into this computer. So from here, instead of logging to ESX machine separately, okay, from the same web browser, you try to log into this machine IP address from the web browser. Okay, then enter this machine network address 1.200. So we can add multiple ESX machines together on this interface. Once you add, you can manage multiple VMs and multiple ESX machines on one interface itself. Okay. Right now in our lab we have 200. Before that I'll do something. Just before I open it for the first time, I had to add something. Here I need to add that name because I cannot reach with its name for now. So I'm logging into the new application which is already installed in our lab. We will do that lab as well, installing that application. So this installation of this application, installation of ESX operating system, creating these virtual machines will come in our lab session. So here we connected to that specific application I was talking. So inside the 200 virtual computer, we have installed this application. Okay. So now using our web browser, we are connecting to this machine. So because of this application, it's showing us interface like this. Okay. So here, if you expand, you can see multiple ESX machines. As of now, only one is added here. You can add more ESX machine here. This is one ESX machine, 192.168.1.240 that you can see here also. Directly we connected and we added here also. You can, if you have more ESX machines, you can add more here. So all you can manage from this interface itself. Okay. Multiple ESX machines you can manage from this single web page. Instead of connecting to every host like this, instead of connecting to every ESX machine separately, you log into this web page. You can manage all the ESX machines at one place. You don't need, let's say if there is a virtual, someone is asking about virtual machine 45, if you want to do something with this machine, you don't need to search. Just go here in the global search, just look for that. Let's say I want to search for SVM. So if you type SVM, this is the search option. So here itself, we are getting options. select that. Okay, so here is the virtual. You can directly it will select, because this inventory is very less. We can directly find here itself. If it is more, when we have more virtual machines and more ESXi servers, it will take time to identify. So but here it will help us to search it directly. This is global search. Search here, select that object, directly it will take you to that object.
ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ ఒక సర్వర్ నుంచి కనెక్ట్ అయిన VMs కదా ఇవన్నీ ఇలాగే థౌసండ్స్ అండ్ లాక్స్ ఆఫ్ సర్వర్స్ ఉంటాయి. అది ఏ దాంట్లో నుంచి సెర్చ్ చేస్తారా?
అన్ని ఇక్కడే కనిపిస్తాయి.
అన్ని అసెట్స్ లో నుంచి
Yes.
VM 45 అనేసి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చారు కదా. ఆ వర్చువల్ కంప్యూటర్ అరౌండ్ 340 సర్వర్ లో నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ 340 సర్వర్. అప్పుడు కూడా సెర్చ్ అనేది ఎక్కడ యూజ్ అవుతుంది? లేకపోతే 340 సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలా?
లేదు, ఇక్కడే కనిపిస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ నువ్వు సెర్చ్ చేస్తే చాలు. దీంట్లో ఎక్కడున్న ఈ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ లో ఎక్కడున్నా నీకు విజిబుల్ అవుతుంది. ఇట్స్ గ్లోబల్ సెర్చ్. అన్ని ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఇక్కడే సెర్చ్ చేస్తాం. We'll see, like we'll add one more ESXi machine and we'll see that. So that is also again GUI interface only. Even though you install this application on the Linux machine, it is GUI interface only. With the mouse itself, we can manage. That's how that application was developed. Okay. So this machine is called now together. This application is called vCenter server application. Together, once you install application inside a Windows or Linux machine, this is called vCenter. vCenter, you can say completely server itself. vCenter server. In short words, we call it as VC, Virtual Center. Just a minute. Okay, so sorry, I lost where I was. Okay, it's up 1.83. So there is one more ESX machine available in our lab after 240. Like there is one more. So I want to add into this vCenter, right? Right click. Add host. This will be, there will be a lab again about this, adding the host and all. You can see 240 is one ESX machine, 83 is another machine, it is added. If there is a virtual machine on top of it, we can see here itself. Okay. A VM from any ESX machine, we can manage here itself. Fine. So okay, so that's called vCenters. Now we are aware of components like VC, it's called virtual center, centralized management interface. Multiple ESX machines and we send our virtual machines we can manage from one interface. Then ESX server, physical server, with an ESX OS installed in it. Virtual machine, it's something like software computer. Physical computer and this is software computer. A computer generated with a software. Okay, virtual machine. exactly like a physical machine. With the OS and apps. And web client. Web browser to manage vCenter or host directly. The four components. vCenter. It is an application which will help us to manage multiple ESXi machines from one interface. Okay. Multiple ESX machines and virtual centers you can manage on one web page itself. Okay. From your laptop via web browser, you log into the respective vCenter IP. You can manage multiple ESX machines from this one interface itself. Okay, single interface. ESX machine, physical server in our lab with the ESX OS installed on top of it. Okay, so physical machine, ESX server. If you have 100 ESX machines, means you need to have 100 physical servers. Then virtual machine. It's a software generated computer, works like exactly like a physical machine with an operating system and applications on top of it. Either we can install Windows or Linux. To manage this vCenter and ESXi host together on one interface, we are using web browser. We are calling it as web client. Web browser to manage the vCenter or the ESXi host, either directly or via vCenter. You manage it using a web browser. It's called web client. These are the four components we should aware. Every day we will be working with these four components only in day-to-day job as well. Okay, these four components are very important: vCenter, ESX machine, virtual machine, and web client. All these four together named into one product called vSphere. vSphere is the product name. VMware is the company name. Okay, it's an organization. vSphere is the product. Name of the product developed by VMware. vSphere is again just a name. These are the key components: vCenter, ESX, virtual machine, and web client. All together, it's called vSphere suite. Group of product. One product, all these four technical components. Every day we'll be logging into virtual center and managing the virtual machines or ESXi host. Like create new virtual machine, ESXi patching. If RAM is not enough, add RAM. Disk is enough, like add more disk space. So kind of other task also will come. Fine. So from our web browser, we connect to the virtual center and manage all this. All these together, it's called vSphere. Is the product name. And what we do is in this vSphere, ICM, install, configure, and manage. Okay. From day one, installation, how to install vCenter, how to install ESXi, how to install virtual machines, and all other network and storage components will come later. And configure, change the settings as per customer requirement. Customer may be running some set of business applications. To run that business applications, what are all the settings that needs to enable and disable? Okay, and manage. If something breaks, fix it on daily basis. Okay. ICM, install, configure, and manage. It's completely called administration. Okay. There is no development. There may be technologies with development separate and administration separate. Here we have nothing to develop. It's already developed. We have to just know how the product works and manage, called administration. We understand only administration part from the vSphere. If any advancements or patching needed, VMware company itself will develop. They have set up developers. They will be developing it. We don't need to worry about the development part. We have to just take care of administration, how the product works, how each and every feature will work inside this technology. Is more than enough to get a job immediately. So VMware is the organization, vSphere is the product, and these are the technical components. And we manage end to end from the vSphere perspective. Fine. Any questions from this page? So now we understood vCenter, right? vCenter, ESXi host, virtual machine, all together vSphere. Okay. So here, this is sometimes I might be saying like ESX host, ESXi server. Okay. Nothing but here this is a physical machine where we are installing ESX operating system. On top of it, we are creating virtual machine. We're installing Windows or Linux operating system here. And then application will be installed here. Okay, so this is called host. Nothing but ESX server. Physical server with ESX OS on top of it, we call it as host. This is a guest machine, but we call in day-to-day job, like as an administrator, generic word, we call it as VM only. Guest machine is nothing but virtual machine. Guest OS, the OS inside the VM. Okay. In generic words, we call this physical server with ESX OS as ESX host. Or sometimes I'll be calling just host also. Host, ESX host or ESXi host, all are same. Okay, physical server with host, ESX host, ESXi host, ESX server, all same. Physical server installed in it. Okay, all are same. Fine. So don't confuse whenever I'm using words like ESXi host, ESX host, or host, whatever it may be. Okay, don't confuse. Okay, fine. And And why we are calling it as host? Let's say some relatives comes to your home, like you will be providing hostage to them. Okay, basically some services to them. It's called hostage. And here we are become like we are host there, and they are our guests. Okay, whoever came to our home, like they are our guests. We are providing services. Here also the same. This machine is assisting this virtual computer with the help of RAM, CPU, instructions from here to here. This is host and this is guest. In day-to-day job, we don't call it as guest. When I'm speaking to like my colleague, I'll say check that virtual machine or check that VM. VM means that guest machine. But something I'll say there is some problem with guest OS inside in that virtual machine. That means OS inside the virtual machine. I'll be speaking it as like guest OS in day-to-day work, and this machine as VM and this as host. Host, VM, and guest OS. Okay, you should know the three layers. Host, physical server with ESX OS in top of it. Virtual machine, guest machine is a virtual machine. Okay, and then guest OS, the OS inside the virtual machine, either Windows or Linux. VM is called guest machine, guest OS inside the virtual machine. Clear? Any question? Okay, so now we understood about some basic terminology, overall vSphere, and the day-to-day terminology that we use. Okay. Next, we'll come to about lab options. So how to work with lab. Lab options available on this technology. First one, lab, total lab on your lab. You need, if you want to completely learn about this VMware vSphere, we need minimum 2 ESXi machines and 1 virtual center. Okay. So for that, each ESXi machine minimum it need 4 GB RAM. Every ESXi machine, 4 CPUs, and at least 5 GB hard disk. One ESXi machine. If you need 2 means 4 plus 4, 8 GB RAM. Then one virtual center. Virtual center also minimum 4 GB RAM is needed. That means 8 plus 4, 12 GB RAM. So 12 GB RAM is needed just for 2 ESX machines and 1 vCenter. Your laptop also needs some amount of RAM, at least minimum 1 to 2 GB RAM to work properly. So 12 plus 2, 14. So that means 14 you will not get, 12 GB RAM you get, and yeah, or 16. So you need laptop with 16 GB RAM and i5 processor, and at least even 100 GB hard disk is fine. Hard disk is not a problem. But if you have a hard laptop with this specification, still it will be very slow only. It will not work as you expect. Okay, very slow. At least even with this specification, Lenovo computer gives somewhat better performance compared to other vendors. Okay, HP or Dell. Compared to them, at least Lenovo will give better performance. But if you want to do entire lab on your installed in your laptop itself. If you don't have any laptop, you don't need to worry about it. This is just option one we are talking about. Okay. So because this will cost you around 40 to 50, I mean not 50, like not 40, it will be more than 50 only. Even recently I started looking for this option, more than 50,000 only. So don't spend this way. You don't need to worry about this lab option. So if you have at least even not 100%, only 80% labs only you can do. Okay, possibilities 80% only. Second option, VMware has a website. You log into that website, there you can practice all the labs, same like real labs only you can do. However, you do live labs in our lab, you can do there also. But it's called HOL, hands-on labs. Many people, the trainers outside right now, VMware trainers, okay, they will ask you to do labs on you with VMware HOL only. They will just explain about particular topic on their laptop. They'll show in the laptop, and after that, they will ask to perform labs on VMware HOL. But the reality is, if you do labs from VMware HOL, only 40% labs only you can practice. Already pre-configured. You cannot do even ESXi installation also. There will be already two ESX machines vCenter ready. You can practice some VM creation, some basic stuff like that. Only 40% labs only you can do. It's not possible to do 100% labs, uh, and it will not make you ready to handle your day-to-day work also. Just at least as a beginner like us, we can try few things there. Okay, but it will not help you to completely understand all the labs. But many trainers will be asking people to work on labs. So some people after struggling, okay, so through these labs they're not getting job, they come some other way, like they find my contact and they contact me. When I say like where did you practice, they say VMware H1. That's how I know like many people are suggesting H1, but reality is 40% only you can do. Okay, so no need to worry, we have another option as well. So in our Bangalore, our institute, we have complete lab set up here. We have two physical servers. We center like 4 to 5 lab PCs available. So you can say if you don't have laptop, you can directly come here and sit here and directly do. If you have a laptop also, any working laptop like 2 GB or 4 GB also, you can bring. I'll help you to connect to this lab. Okay, with your laptop directly you will connect to our servers and you can work. Okay, just bring your laptop work. So here I have made possibilities to work exactly like 99% to 100% day-to-day work you can practice here. So from the physical server direct interaction. Okay, normally very few people will manage the physicals. It's cost expensive servers. Okay. So because I want to provide like complete knowledge when I'm dealing whatever it is possible, maximum I want to share. So that's what I've invested and make it available, make use of it. But if it is possible to come here, you come and do this lab. And what about like others from remote location? So we have still one more option. You don't need to. Okay. You can do all the labs 100% again. Okay, even though if you sit like if you come here and sit here in the lab, however you can practice 100% lab, all the labs, whatever the day-to-day work that you get, you can practice here. Okay, so if you don't directly come here, whatever the labs that you can do from team view, like from your home itself, if you have a laptop, working laptop is more than enough. Laptop with internet, I'll show you how to connect. If you have a laptop with internet, even 1 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM doesn't matter. If it is working fine with internet connection, it's more than enough. Okay, so via from your home, like you with your laptop, via application called TeamViewer, I'll show you how to connect. Okay, with the TeamViewer, you can connect to our lab, and it will be exactly like you are sitting here. One of the machine will be allocated for you only. From that machine, you can completely connect to our lab. Like if you see here, instead of just imagining, I'll just show this. And this is you from your home. So it's your laptop. Okay. I'll just draw two. There are like 4 to 5 machines available. Some 5 lab PCs are available here. We connected to internet one end, another end is connected to local network. So if you sit here, from this laptop, you can direct laptop or desktop, whatever PC, right? So directly you can connect to vCenter and manage all the work. Physical servers are available. You can directly do whatever you want. So if you're at home with the internet, these PCs, lab PCs are connected to internet also. We have installed a special application called TeamViewer here and here. You need to install TeamViewer application here. Okay, here in your laptop. This application, if you have internet connection, this PC also has internet connection, your laptop also has internet connection. Using this TeamViewer ID, you can connect to this TeamViewer. So you will get control of this computer fully from your home itself. So it's like you are sitting here and working. That PC will be reserved for you until you are working on it. Okay, so we will share that ID and password. I'll let you know how to connect and whom to contact. Okay, once our lab starts, I'll explain that. Okay, so from here we can access lab PC and from, so we can practice 100% labs. Okay, if not 100%, it's not, maybe 99%, but you can do all your day-to-day work. However we do, we can test it here. Okay, that means you can practice. That's how we arrange. Make use of these options, third and fourth, if possible. Okay. You don't need to worry. You may be thinking about there are 30 people, like there are only 5 machines. It's not like everybody will be working on the same time. Even we have not seen situation where all the 5 machines are used at once. Maybe there are some situation once or twice. We'll be asking. Some people maybe need to wait for some time, but most of the cases it doesn't matter. And anytime it is available, even after 10 p.m. if you want to work, we will allow you to work and leave it. Once you are done, you can shut it down. They will sleep after that. You can, when you are done, you can close. Okay, so we made the options available for you, like make use of it. Okay, and do not misuse. Don't share with anyone else. Just you have taken it, right, like this option, so you make use of it. If you find like you are sharing your credentials with somebody, definitely will come to know the machine name, your computer name, and I know, like, I don't want to share all. Will not come to know whether you are working or someone else is working. So then we will not provide you access. Even if you paid, we will not allow. Okay. Make use of these options. You are here to learn, so you learn. If someone, your friend is interested, you can ask them to contact. But I have seen such situation. That's why I'm telling. So it's your career, right? Don't try to find shortcuts for that. Okay. Even your friends, you say that. Okay. It's critical stage of getting a job into like a different career or like, okay, next phase of your life. Don't find shortcuts just for like 10,000 or whatever it is money. Don't find shortcuts. Fine. We made it available. Like make use of it. Fine. So compared to others, like you have good options to practice to get hands-on experience on this subject. Okay. So make use. Anyone has any question?